How's it going, guys? And welcome to This Month in Comics, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Month in Comics. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Once again, it's a newer segment, still getting used to the title and everything, but we're going over the previews that we constantly get. This one has pretty much everything that isn't Marvel and DC. He has the Marvel and DC ones. But yeah, we're going to be going over all kinds of stuff, toys, comics, all that kind of stuff. So the first one, we're going to start off with DC. That will be you, Eric, since you went over that.
DC Dead Planet #1. It is the sequel to Deceased. The way the description talks, it's years after the events of the original series. Damon Wayne, John Kent, and the New Justice League travel back to the Dead Planet.
That sounds really cool.
And they don't, it's what's survived and what's there and what's waiting for them.
Mm-hmm. Have they, I kind of left off on the original Deceased. Have they talked about, like, the Superman going all zombified also? Like, has that stuff has been going on?
I want to say that he somehow survived.
Yeah, I think so.
Something happened there. They went off on this ship and left Earth, but yet then they just did that little mini series called Unkillables, which is about some of the survivors like Deathstroke and a couple of others, where they're still on Earth. But in this one, I guess they're coming back to Earth to see if they're still, what's there. Mm-hmm. Something's going to be waiting for them.
Yep. All right. Well, then what's the next one?
Batman 3 Jokers. #1. Finally.
Yes.
Finally, the highly anticipated story. It's finally here. Yes, back in Justice League number 41, back in New 52, because that was a long time ago.
God, what was that, 5 years ago?
Yes. And Batman's during the Dark Side War, Batman gets the Morbius chair, and the Morbius chair tells him basically everything he wants to know. He asks it a question, and he's like, what? And they don't pick it up again until Justice League number 50, where it's revealed to us that there's 3 Jokers. And we thought when DC Rebirth was going to start that they were going to explain it. And
they haven't done nothing.
No.
Nothing. This is the first bit of something that we've gotten in 5 years over this. And I've been waiting.
It's all because of Doomsday Clock. And we see how long Doomsday Clock took. So,
well, they delayed that so many times.
Yeah, Jeff Johns.
Yeah, Jeff Johns. We're looking at you.
But yeah, that one's gonna be a big thing. So if you're wanting that book, I advise you to come in, subscribe to it. This is stuff that's supposed to come out in June. Mm-hmm. It could be 6 months from now. Kidding.
Yeah, it could. I mean, like, once again, everything right now is crazy. So we'll see. The previews might not be as accurate as we would like to, but it's just because of all the craziness that's going on.
But it is coming.
Yes, it is coming out. Another 5 years.
All right. The next one I want to talk about, it's Batman, of course, but it's Batman number 96, 97, Batgirl number 48, Detective Comics 124, Nightwing number 73. It's the Joker War, which takes place in Batman, and then the other titles like Detective, Nightwing, and Batgirl are all tie-ins. The big thing is Batman number 96, which has the first appearance of a new character called the Clown Hunter.
That's right. I remember seeing that. You sent me that on Messenger and whatnot, and I was like, hey, this is going to be a big one.
Yes, that's going to be a big one. I've had a few subscribers sign up just for that issue. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and definitely sign up for it. It'll probably have the same thing that happened whenever they first introduced what's her name, Sucker Punch? Punchline. There we go. Everybody wanted Punchline, and we couldn't get her because people didn't subscribe to her. And then, like, whenever they first came out, people were all like, oh, get us, what was it, Batman 69?
Batman number 89.
89, 69.
Year of the Villain, Hell Horizon number 3. And that's the thing, they put her in a book that no one was subscribing to. Mm-hmm. And if nobody's subscribing to especially a title like that isn't selling, I wasn't going to order that many. And of course, hey, we're going to put her in this book. And then when you try to go back and reorder it, it's already sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And no one knew about that, and it blew up out of nowhere. So it's one of those things, just keep on top. Once again, this is the reason that you watch these videos.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next one?
Batman, the animated series, The Adventure Continues. I know I talked about in the last video, issue 1. This one's issue 2. I'm just reminding, it's Batman, the animated series.
Now, am I wrong in this? I saw the toy line, and I think I talked about this last time. Is Batman Who Laughs is in this one? Or
no, they're doing characters that are in that animated style.
Okay, so they're
Now-
just doing a character for his figure as the
Right.
animated version.
Now,
okay.
it could be in this miniseries he pops up. We don't know. It's possible. Maybe the figure's telling us something. It's pure speculation,
Mhm.
but you never know. So I just wanted to throw that out there to remind you guys, hey, that's coming.
Mhm.
The next one, I normally don't recommend dollar books, but with Batman the Three Jokers coming, DC's doing because they've been doing reprints of older issues, especially like key issues. They're doing Justice League number 50. Justice League number 50 is kind of an expensive book now, so they're doing the dollar book. So if you want to read the book, or at least say, hey, I've got Justice League number 50, this is the best way to go. So that's why I'm recommending it, because it is a tie-in to the Three Jokers.
Okay.
So the next, they're not comics, they're statues. DC's doing a new black and white of Brian Bolin,
Nice.
The Killing Joke.
Mhm.
And then they're also starting a new series. I guess I don't know if it's based on the Joker or the villains, but it is the Joker from Brian Bolin from The Killing Joke.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, if you're interested in those two, remember, you can always come in, pre-order it. We will take care of you.
Mhm.
So-
Very shameless plug.
Yes. And then last on DC, it's another Batman plug, but it's their Batman the Adventures, how they're doing the toy line, the figures. Well, they're reissuing the Christmas with the Joker figure, and it has like metallic paint. It's kind of cool that they're reissuing this figure because the original sold out like in a matter of like days.
How many did they make of those?
That one actually didn't have like a production run, but I know
Okay.
that a lot of this animated stuff, they're starting to do lower production runs, because on this figure, they're only doing 5,000.
Okay.
So it's worth picking up if you're a fan of the series or you're collecting those figures. Don't miss out on
Mhm.
it.
So yeah, if you're a Batman fan like him, make sure not.
So.
All right, so I think that's it for DC. We're
Yes.
moving on to Marvel next. Because I like your voice and because you also did the Marvel section,
Okay.
how about we go over that one, and I'll
Mm.
catch the Image section as that comes up, because Image is my baby.
I love Spider-Man, but wow, it's another Spider-Man series called Nonstop Spider-Man. It's an ongoing series that's basically, the way it's explained, it's nonstop action from Joe Kelly.
Mhm.
So it could be good, but there's also another Spider-Man series in there they're starting called Web of Spider-Man. But
Really,
it's not
another one?
Web of Spider-Man. It's WEB, like
Huh.
the initials. So the web stands for something.
Right.
But, so I don't know how many Spider-Man series that makes now, but wow, I
There
thought
is-
Batman was bad.
There are so many out there right now. There was Noir, there's Amazing, there's regular Spider-Man,
Yes.
there's Miles Morales, there's Spider-Gwen,
The symbiote.
the symbiote,
Symbiote.
there's Scream. I mean,
Yes.
technically all the Venom stuff is
Yes.
also a Venom, and then there's Venom and Carnage, of course, and
Yes.
we'll go over that in a little bit. But
Also next, Star Wars Darth Vader number 5. Darth Vader, it's a great series. This one, the first two series that came out were, the first one was based on between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Then the second series was about right after Revenge of the Sith. This one takes place after The Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
But one thing I wanted to show was the cover to it.
yeah,
It was a really cool cover. It's part Anakin and part Darth Vader right
Yeah.
there. Which I thought was kind of a neat cover.
no, it's a
So
really
we'll
cool
plug
cover.
that.
I like that one. The if you haven't read any of the Star Wars stuff, honestly, the Darth Vader one is the cream of the crop.
Mhm.
It just is some of the best story writing for Anakin, because he's still struggling on going into the dark side, yet he still has his mentality of like when he was a Jedi and everything. So it's a really cool one. I highly suggest that one if you're going to do it. Also, Dr. Aphra is another one that I would personally like save if you're
Yes.
going to get into the Star Wars universe for comics to get into.
Well, I just want to say one more thing before we move on from Darth Vader.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this series now, it's because he already knows Luke's his kid. So now it's to watch him struggle
Oh, that's right.
with that light still in him,
Mhm.
that he thought had been gone.
Yep.
So that's still in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the next one is Shang-Chi. If you're there's a Marvel movie coming out based on that character, and I believe it's going to come out next year.
What?
So-
No way.
I know. So this is a great opportunity there for new readers to come in and learn about I'm butchering the name,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. because Marvel does that when there's a movie coming out, they'll put out a new series. This is the first #1 from him, and I can't tell you how many years.
Man, we got like some of his compendiums in the other day. I can't remember who picked them up, but yeah, I didn't even know about this character. 100%. I just was like, man, is this like a Iron Fist knockoff? Is honestly what I thought.
Well, he was created in the 70s because Kung Fu was real big around then because of Bruce Lee, and then they have the Kung Fu movies. Well, Marvel created a bunch of characters like Shang-Chi and Iron Fist, and real quick, just a little trivia. Did you know that the Karate Kid, was a DC character?
What?
And that if you watch the original Karate Kid and you watch the credits, it shows Karate Kid owned by DC Comics. Now, the Karate Kid comic has nothing to do with the Karate Kid movie, but it is based on the comic book Karate Kid.
Man, like you sharing all this knowledge. Also, the other day, just fun little trivia thing. This guy is a bowling champion. I had no idea. That's going to be in a video that we're going to be posting up, or it's already out. I'm not sure, but it goes over him, and it's just, I didn't know you were a bowling champion.
Oh man,
I know. It still blows my mind. I'm just
yes.
Okay. Moving on.
All right. So the next one on the list is Juggernaut #2. I think we talked about Juggernaut #1 last month. But this one, all I can say is Juggernaut versus the Immortal Hulk. That's all it matters.
Always, I love seeing the powerhouses of like Hulk versus Juggernaut, or Hulk versus Wolverine, or anything like this. Anytime those powerhouses get in a fight, they're always fun.
Well, the few issues of Fantastic Four a couple of months ago when they had that Thing versus the Immortal Hulk, we saw a little spike. People came in that weren't subscribing to it, wanted to pick it up because it was the Hulk versus the Thing, and then it went down. But all right, so that's it I'm going to say about that one, is Immortal Hulk versus Juggernaut. So the next one is Infinite Destinies. I'm butchering stuff here. It's Iron Man Annual #1, Captain America Annual #1, which supposedly comes out in June, Thor Annual 1, Black Cat Annual 2, which is supposed to come out in July, Avengers Annual 1, and Black Panther Annual 1 in August, and Guardians of the Galaxy Annual 1 and Amazing Spider-Man Annual #2 in September. The release dates are subject to change. The description says the Infinity Stones are coming back. New and iconic characters seek to wield them, leading to a titanic clash in Infinite Destinies. It will supposedly lay the groundwork for future stories that will reshape the Marvel Universe. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So
we've heard that before.
What? No, never with Marvel. But I just love how they always have to tie in everything, man.
Yes.
Like, I love Marvel. Love them. There's a reason I have a store. But come on. There's only so many titles that people can subscribe to.
Oh, I know. And these are annuals, so they're going to be like $5.99.
Oh, God, yeah, exactly. So, well, hopefully there's some good content in it. Hopefully there's some significance to this, and hopefully it's actually a collectible.
Hopefully. All right, so the next one on Marvel is, it's really not even for a book that's coming out that month, but in the
actually
excited.
In
the previews above Scream #5 and Venom #27 and 28, it says Noel is coming. So,
if you don't know who Noel is, you should read the Venom comic books.
Right. So I don't know if it's going to be a big crossover or it's going to be a big event, kind of like how Absolute Carnage was, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be another crossover. My question is Venom #3 going to increase in value again?
I have no idea. And like, is the race still going on where Carnage and Venom are both trying to hunt down Noel?
I don't know. They just wrapped up Venom Island, and I'm not going to lie, I did not read Venom Island.
Yeah, I've been by you about not reading comic books lately. I've been dealing with a bunch of stuff, but
I think we all have been.
I think we've all been there, and we're gonna have to wait for a little bit longer once because right now Diamond's not necessarily letting books out right now,
right?
Until all the craziness is done. But anywho, I guess let's move on to Image.
Yes. Can I say something real quick about Image before we get into it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I don't know if you're watching Walking Dead.
I was, yes.
Okay, so they're doing something really stupid, and I'm going to say this. Okay, with everything that's going on and people are at home, Quit taking off new episodes of shows. Just show them the new episodes because people are at home to watch stuff.
I agree.
They're taking the season finale of Walking Dead, which was supposed to air not this next Sunday, but the following Sunday. They decided, we're going to show it later on in the year as a special event because of everything's going on. So the episode that comes on next Sunday is just where the season's going to end, and then show the season finale, God knows when this year.
I think you're just getting a little stir crazy because you're staying home and
Probably,
too
but
much.
I don't understand why they're doing that. They did it with some of the DC shows too. And
I don't understand why they're doing that either. I'm hoping, like right now, Westworld's going on, and I hope to God they don't do anything along those lines because I'm digging Westworld right now.
Yeah, don't delay that.
Oh,
All right, I had to say something about that.
No,
right,
it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so Image. Something to keep in mind, Kirkman, because we were just talking about Walking Dead and all that kind of stuff.
Think of it.
Exactly. So Kirkman's coming out with a new book called Firepower. The #1 issue will be coming out. It's over the one who wields the firepower is destined to save the world. That's pretty much the description that we're given, but it's looks like it's going to be a new title that's worth getting into because I always like getting into a Kirkman read. The last one to come out that was big. Which one was the
oh God, I see the cover.
Cover. I know exactly. We have them in the back.
Oh my God. Wasn't it wasn't Gideon Falls.
It wasn't Gideon Falls. It was it started with an O.
Oblivion Song.
There we go.
I could see the cover.
I know. Same. I like the little green guy standing there with all the green or pink cover, depending on if you got the rare one. The second one from Image that we're going to be talking about is Chew, and this is CHU. Mm-hmm. Now, it is a continuation of Chew, the comic, but that is spelled like chewing, and it's just playing off of its title. Chew is a villain in the Chew universe that is going to be the main character of this one, and her whole power is if you're eating around her, she all of a sudden can learn your secrets and all that. It sounds a little bit weird, but if you know the premise of the original comic book is one of the main characters is named Chew, and he is able to eat somebody. And if he eats something from somebody, like their hair or skin or anything like that, he gains like their memories and knowledge of what they do. So it kind of goes in that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's a detective comic book, and it's one of the better ones out there. So if you haven't read that, another title to look into.
Well, you know, there's a mini series that's going on right now called Chew in Outer Darkness.
Really?
So maybe something to look into. But I saw it because I pull it every time it comes out. I'm like, oh, what's this? What's this?
Now, is that with the Chew universe? Or?
Yeah, it's Chew. It's like a crossover. Chew and Outer Darkness.
I did not know that.
So,
okay. But the next one is personally my love. Right now, the Spawn universe is getting all kinds of crazy. And Spawn 310 looks awesome. It has Gunslinger Spawn on the cover. It looks sweet. If you like the Matina. If you like any of the Matina stuff, his covers are always excellent, and I highly suggest subscribing to this title if you haven't already. We sell out of it fast. We haven't been able to reorder it because the printings are low on these kind of things, and it makes all this stuff very hard to get. And the closer we get to the actual Spawn movie getting out, the harder they're going to be to come out. And it just has a lot of stuff going on right now. So like they have Gunslinger Spawn in it, Medieval Spawn's in it, She Spawn's in it, the original Spawn's in it. So it just has a lot of those characters all mashed up into one, which is awesome because I love seeing all the multiples in the same title.
Right.
So next would be...
Well, I was going to say, if it's anything like issue 308 that had Gunslinger Spawn on it, then because 310, the regular cover, is him on there. The 308 was a variant, but still, I mean, everybody wanted that cover. So I recommend getting that cover.
And if you look at if you're just going in it for like the investment purposes and everything, it's Spawn titles and Spawn, specifically Matina covers and stuff like that. They're way more, and they're actually less than all the regular covers. They're only $2.99 for the Spawn books compared to all the other books. So that is one thing that I love that Image does, is that all the Spawn books are $2.99 compared to the $3.99. And they actually go up in value compared to like most of the other books. Right. So even if you decide to get out of it or whatnot, you're not losing money. You're actually making a little.
Right. There you go.
But next would be Dynamite. And I think you would want to talk about that, Eric, just because you're into this a little bit more than I am.
I like all the pulp characters and stuff from the 1940s, like the Shadow, but they're doing a new Green Hornet series. So I'm very curious about that. Dynamite, it's real hit or miss, especially when they deal with characters like that. Like, because not every Green Hornet was great. I mean, the Kevin Smith one was okay, and then another writer came in and it just kind of went down. But, you know, they were doing like Green Hornet Year One and Kato Year One. It was just, I don't know, they tried to milk it. But this one actually looks pretty promising, so I'm going to give it a plug because it's the Green Hornet. But
yeah. Well, yeah, he's into all those kind of characters, and we hopefully it's good. I like the Green Hornet character, but it's just they've been really lacking on writing. That's honestly what the characters are interesting and everything. It's just the writers just aren't there. So hopefully this one actually punches it out.
Right.
Okay. The next one that I would like to talk to you is from IDW. Dungeons and Dragons is going to have a 100-page special, and it's going to be over a certain character that some may know called Dritz. I'm not sure if you know. Do you know about Dritz? Dritz is one of the most famous characters in Dungeons and Dragons. He had a whole book series. He is a drow that ended up being a good guy, which most drow, they're bad people. You don't want to mess with drow. They worship a terrible snake. Well, not snake. A spider goddess, and she eats people, and it's just bad stuff. But it's just bad stuff. Bye. But you definitely want to look into that if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, because this is going to be one of the specials, and it's only going to be limited printing and all that kind of stuff. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Next would be Dark Horse, and this is another one that I think that, especially like this one specifically, I think this one you'll want to talk about.
So the one I was going to talk about is Predator, the original screenplay, #1. Dark Horse has been on a roll with these original screenplay series. The first one they did was for Alien 3.
Which was awesome.
Right. And it made me mad because it's like, oh, this is what we could have gotten. But
right, because Alien 3, if you know the Alien saga, Alien 3 is considered one of the most lackluster of all the Alien movies. And then you read this and you're like, this is what we could have had.
Right. And it's weird because it's David Fincher. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think that's.
But he did like Seven and Fight Club, and produced the show Manhunter, which is on Netflix. He's done some other stuff too, but that was like one of his first movies. And you're like, really? He did this? And then when I was reading more about it, was that he wanted his name taken off the movie because the studio was really the ones responsible for making the movie just crap.
Right.
And but anyway, so they did the comic series on that. And it was really good. But they're doing Predator. And also, I think comes out next month or the month before, but they're doing the original screenplay to Alien. So,
and the thing about the Predator one specifically was the cover, man. Like it looks. Oh, where is it?
It should be on a little tab.
Yeah, it should be on one of those little tabs. But he looks like, I'm trying to think of what he looks like. He's just like this weird, crazy green alien like looking thing. And yeah, there it is right there. And look how freaky that thing is. He almost looks like, you know what it reminds me of? That's what Gremlins.
It
looks like a Gremlins face.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of. But it looks completely different. I'm definitely gonna get down for that myself.
Did you know that Van Damme was originally cast as the Predator?
Really? And Van Damme was?
They had him in a suit that looks nothing like the Predator we got, and looked real hokey. It looked like crap. So they ended up getting rid of him, and then they brought this guy in, Kevin
This is
Peter
the trivia
Hall.
episode, guys.
Well, Kevin Peter Hall, which was like this almost 7 foot. He might have been over 7 foot, and that's why the Predator. He was cast as Predator. He was also in Predator 2, and he was Harry and the Hendersons.
There we go.
Am I too old? Okay. Next one. I never really read much about the Umbrella Academy. Do you know?
Have you never read the Umbrella Academy? Okay, so we got You Look Like Death, Tales from Umbrella Academy #1. It's the first ever spin-off series for the Umbrella Academy, so it's not going to follow the main cast, which is real interesting. So I'm interested in seeing that. If you are into the Umbrella Academy comic books, this is a definite read that you should get in on. Man, have you watched the show at least?
I started it,
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get distracted. I ended up having. I just never
You just
got
didn't
back
want to
it.
watch it. That's
No,
okay.
It's not true.
Man.
It's not true.
First off, it's fantastic. I read it whenever I was first in high school and everything. I fell in love with it hardcore. If you like a superhero twist with a little bit of grim darkness, it's definitely something to look into. I'm trying to remember who the writer was.
Gerard Way.
Yeah, it was one of the My Chemical Romance guys.
That's the band. I was going to ask what.
Yeah, that's what got me into it. Honestly, I heard that he wrote a comic book, and I was like, "What? No way!" And I just love My Chemical Romance. Going back to my like tween years. Just imagine me with the emo swoop. I know, right? So other than that, we got a few quick titles to mention. Nothing really crazy, mostly based off the titles. We got a new Witcher comic book, The Witcher Fading Memories. That's going to be a 4-parter. So if you're into the Witcher series, that's definitely something to look out for. God of War, Fallen God, issue 1 through 4. That's another good one. And then also, if you want a really cool art book, the Art of the Dragon Prince book is coming out. If you've liked that series, I really like them. It's the same people that were doing Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if you knew that.
No, I did not.
I'm going a little bit of trivia on him. But the art looks fantastic. I really like it. You kind of get to see what their 2D art was compared to like whenever they went to 3D, because the whole show's done in 3D animation,
right?
Which honestly, some of the best 3D animation that's out there, because I'm not about 3D animation. I don't like it most of the time in TV shows because they just don't do it right, but they've definitely succeeded in doing it right. But before we go on, I think we're going to take one little break and then we'll get back to it.
Bam. And we're back.
How's it going? Yeah.
So the next one I wanted to talk about because it's Halloween related.
Nerd.
But I'm not a big Valiant reader, but the new issue of Shadow Man that's coming out is they're doing an homage cover to Halloween, which I thought was kind of cool. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. But when I was doing previews last month, Vampirella and some of the other Dynamite titles were doing homage Batman covers. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to pick up, but they were like 1 in 10.
Yeah. No, there's
it's like, no way.
Yeah, I know. There is all kinds of homage covers that have been coming out lately, though. I mean, like, it started out with like Deceased, I think, is they started doing a lot of the homage covers for that, and then I've just been seeing more and more out lately, which is great. I love them. But it's just a trend that I just so happen to notice.
Right
now, one that I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Fault. I saw this as an independent one, and I'm a huge vampire fan. I love vampires. I love werewolves. I just eat that stuff up. But Bleed Them Dry #1. It's about vampires are real and live alongside humans in a mega city known as Asylum. It has been peaceful until now. Dun, dun, dun. Someone has been killing vampires, and it's up to Detective Harper Holloway to find out who it is. So it sounds real interesting. It's a different take on the whole vampires. They're actually part of society. They're not hiding or anything, and there's somebody that's going around killing them, and a detective is trying to find out who is this hunter of vampires. So I like it. The art looks fantastic, and I'm very down for that.
It actually sounds pretty cool because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah,
the vampires are killing.
Exactly. So
yeah,
it's
definitely.
I'm guessing they have like a whole like, hey, people donate to blood drives and stuff like that. I've always thought that, like, hey, if vampires were real, why don't they just like ask for blood?
Instead of killing people.
Yeah, like, come on.
We produce this stuff. Come
on. And then we're going to move on to Oni Press. I'm going to go over that one since I kind of wrote up that section. We got Joanna and the Impossible Monsters #1. It's drawn by Chris Samney. I think that I got that right. Samney?
I think so. Samney.
He's done a lot of really cool covers and different art, and I've seen him around a lot. He's been doing a lot of really good stuff. It follows this character named Rainbow who is in search of her sister, Joanna. This is kind of difficult for her, though, because there is a bunch of monsters that have apparently taken over the world and putting the humans at the brink of extinction. Oh, wow. So she's kind of having to venture into this post-apocalyptic like monster world that her sister is just wandering around in. So it looks neat. Looks like a fun little adventure read, especially for kiddos and stuff, and the art looks fantastic.
So it's an all-ages book?
It is an all-ages book, so I would definitely suggest that for the kiddos. And then we got Invader Zim. If you are an Invader Zim fan, this one is Invader Zim quarterly one-shot. It is Dib's Dilemma. It is about the description always it cracks me up on these kind of things because Invader Zim's so weird. It's about a millionaire, Max Beesworth, is hosting a cryptic challenge in which he will be judging will be judged by noted skeptic Professor Membrane, which is Dib's father, if you don't know that. And Dib also has the proof to finally show that Zim is truly an alien, and of course, you know how that always works. I love that series. They just came out with a Netflix movie for that. I'm not sure if you saw that.
I hadn't watched it. Is it good?
It's good. It's good. It's definitely a continuation of the whole Invader Zim universe, and it's just a zany and crazy, and it's over the top, and I love it. Rick and Morty. Now, we didn't mention this one last month, but there is a title called Rick and Morty Go to Hell. And it's just making fun of all the Go to Hell comic books, which is fantastic because there's always like X-Men Go to Hell, and there was one recently, Shredder Goes to Hell.
Yes,
Shredder Goes to Hell. So they're kind of making fun of that whole genre. And
they did a Godzilla one too, Godzilla in Hell.
They did do Godzilla in Hell. Yeah, yes. They did.
All right, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, it's all good. But they have to face horrors from their past, and they have to go an adventure in the bowels of a beast of hell. So they're literally in some hell beast during the whole time. Also, of course, Rick starts a mutiny in hell because why not? He's Rick. And we both love this show. We've been watching it constantly. There was a new commercial for it that I haven't watched yet. But there's some new Rick and Morty commercial that we should watch. We should do a reaction video on that.
Oh, do that.
Hey guys, coming up.
I saw something earlier. It was some kind of anime or something for Rick. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe that is what it is. But we'll look it up after this, and maybe we'll do like a reaction thing for it.
Oh my god,
that'd be fun. All right. Also, Titan Comics is coming out with Star Wars: The Mandalorian. It's a art book for The Mandalorian. So if you watched it at all, you know all the concept art that they had inside, like at the very end. It's a collaboration of all that, and it has a bunch of art that wasn't shown in the show. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, we are going to be having that available for pre-orders as well. We're not going to have too many for the shelf, so if you want in on it, tell us.
Oh, maybe the book will fill in the plot holes of them. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Rise of Skywalker. I've never heard of a novelization to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So usually a movie novelization expands on different things of the movie, not fill in plot holes that should have been in the movie. But anyway, I'm rambling on. But that's so. If you want to know more about the Rise of Skywalker, it's in the novel.
Yep, it's salty, guys. Yep.
All right, go ahead.
All right, next is Boom Studios. If you're a Power Rangers fan, this is going to be awesome. If you haven't been keeping up with like Shattered Grid and everything, first off, go read Shattered Grid. Fantastic arc. I love it. It's everything that Power Rangers need, and I want them to do a movie of it so bad. They had like a live action trailer with Jason David Frank, and it just looked fantastic. And I'm like, why are you not doing this?
I know, man.
But Power Rangers Slayer #1. If you don't know who which Power Ranger is Slayer, it's the pink Power Ranger from the universe that was taken over by Lord Dakan.
Mm-hmm.
Dakon, or however you would pronounce it.
Where are you?
I know. But this is her going back to that universe after helping the Power Rangers defeat him, and her dealing with the repercussions of everyone viewing her as a villain because she did help Lord Dakin take over that universe. And it looks like she actually fights some of the Rangers, and it looks like she might have killed someone. So at least that's what I saw in the previews. There was like one panel that like had a Red Ranger like spewing out blood, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it looks really cool, and I highly suggest it. They have a foil cover coming out for it too. So if you want the foil cover, tell us, and we'll definitely get you on that. And then Mighty Morphing Power Rangers number 52. Main reason that I'm mentioning this is because they will have a foil cover for this one too, and it will be of Lord Dakin's helmet, because they've been doing foil covers where it just has like them holding their helmets.
Yes.
And it just looks really awesome. So if you want down for that, just let us know.
I recommend it because the other one's sold out.
Yeah, we sell out of those like instantly.
Yes.
We have a lot of Power Rangers fans around here. So if you want down for it, let us know. How about you tell me about this one, since it's a Hellboy?
The next one, it's from what was it? Albatross Funny Books. It's
Albatross.
See, I butchered that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Eric Powell. I think it's Eric Powell's company.
Is Albatross?
I think
it might have been. I don't.
I
know Eric Powell owns one of them.
Right.
But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Hellboy stuff.
It's because of the Goon. But anyway, they're doing a crossover from it's called The Fearless Dawn meets Hellboy one shot. It's from Mike Mignola and Steve Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Hellboy meets the legendary underground comic hero Fearless Dawn. I personally have never heard of Fearless Dawn.
I never have either.
Okay. It says underground. Maybe it's a thing, but it says if you're a Hellboy fan, this is something you want to pick up because it's not something that Dark Horse is doing. It's another company is doing, so it's something that could fly under the radar.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to point out. So if you're a Hellboy fan, you want to get on this because it's not something that you would just notice. If you're flipping through the previews, you're not thinking you're going to see Hellboy at another company, and there it is. So anyway, I just wanted to make a reference to it. Thank you for listening to me butcher it.
All right. So next on is the manga series, and as you know, Eric knows this, but I'm gonna enlighten you guys and just kind of like humble him about knowing exactly like what manga is coming out, because I just have to, you're the manga.
Gotta order it.
You gotta order it. So first off, one that I thought was real weird, but it could turn out really good, just because I have been watching the Netflix show of this and fell in love, man. I love her character so much. But Anne of Green Gables is coming out with a manga.
Wow.
Yep. Anne of Green freaking Gables is coming out with a manga.
Okay.
I know, it's weird. But I'm intrigued. If it's anything like the book, it's just another media source for some kids to get into of a good read.
So basically, it's an anime or manga interpretation of the novels.
Exactly.
Wow, that might actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be good. And if you haven't watched the Netflix show, watch it. It's really good. It makes me cry, man. I will cry manly tears for that show because I'm like, that little girl, she's just going. But another one that caught my eye, it's called BB and Miyu. Yeah, I know. The art looks really good. I really like it. It has a good little flavor to it. It is about this girl named Bibi who is suspicious of the new girl named Miyu, who is a new student at her high school who just transferred from Japan. Apparently, she has some secrets that she's hiding, and Bibi wants to find them out. But this could possibly lead into a magical friendship.
Oh, you know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. So it essentially the art suggests that Miyu has some kind of like magical friends, maybe like animal spirits of some sort, that she introduces to Bibi, and it just looks kind of, honestly, it reminds me a little bit about Spirited Away type animals.
Okay.
But not quite the humans don't quite look like the Spirited Away, but the animals definitely give me that vibe. My Hero Academia number 24.
Oh, nice.
That's coming out, and the main reason that I suggest this, most of the time, if like a title's ongoing or something like that, like One Punch Man and all that kind of stuff, everybody knows about that. And that's just stuff that's going to periodically come out, and you should get it if you want it. But My Hero Academia number 24, the reason that I'm suggesting that is that's going to start the villain arc. If you haven't been keeping up with it, the villains are like the guy that disintegrates people with his hands. There's the girl that when she drinks people's blood, she can transform into them. There's a guy that can multiply himself or even like make copies of other people. And then there's Dobby, the one person that I remembered inside my head, Dobby the Fire Mancer, and it's going to be following all those characters, and a lot of fans are really into those characters, so it's going to be real interesting. And I've already personally read them. It's just cool to have them in hardback because you know, Japan releases them, and then some fanboys translate them, and then they're on the internet. So
gotcha. I'm gonna have to ask Keaton about that because he's been watching this show.
Has he been?
He's been watching the show.
His kids, by the way, just for
Keaton got mad because of Naruto, not the first one. But
Boruto, the second one, or
the second.
Oh, Shippuden.
Yeah, because Hulu about like episode 100, it like doesn't have. It's not dubbed anymore. It's subtitles, and he
doesn't want to read it.
Yeah, he's like, I read at school. I don't want to read at home. And I was like, seriously, dude. So he jumped over to My Hero Academia, and that's what he's been watching ever since. So. But yeah, he
dubs over subs. Okay,
yeah, I know, but
he's blasphemous. It's cool.
Shame on him.
So the next one, I like slice of life animes and stuff like that. I've ate them up since I was a kiddo. I just like reading that kind of stuff, and they're very popular. So another slice of life anime that looks really good. There's one that says, "How do you relationship?" It's a romance manga, which I personally read a lot of those because, you know, I'm a loser.
Oh, you're not. He's looking for love, folks.
It's true. I'm just looking in the wrong places. But it's about a casual friendship that turns into something a little bit more, and they're trying to figure exactly out, like, what are they going to do now that there's more emotions involved and all that kind of stuff. So it just seems really quirky and cute. The first volume of that's coming out, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely get in on it. The next one is...
We should have a book club.
We should have... If you guys want a book club, let us know down in the comments down below. We can definitely start that. I know that our local library would definitely be on that.
Oh, yes,
Sterling Library.
Yes.
Yeah, I could definitely talk to them about that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to do a manga book club, let us know.
That'd be funny.
That would be really good. I think a lot of kids would join in.
The first book, How Do We Relationship?
Oh, no.
This one may be
no. I will let you know exactly which one I think should be in the book club. It hasn't come up yet.
Don't Call Me Daddy.
Oh, God. That one.
Or is it Call Me Daddy?
It's either Call Me Daddy or Don't Call Me Daddy. I can't remember. But they're weird yaoi manga. But the next one is over Sekiro, which is a video game. It's very Dark Souls-esque. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard of Dark Souls.
But Sekiro, side story, it's about Hanabi the Undying. If you know the characters in it, there is this tutorial master guy that you can learn to fight from, who is this undead samurai that can't die from anything that you do to him. And this is just a side story about him. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, we're going to be having that book come out. And I know a lot of people like getting that kind of stuff because I have a lot of people that subscribe to like the Dark Souls comic books and everything. I know I do.
I know you do.
Yeah, dude, I love that stuff. There's also a magazine coming out called Pure Innovation. It's how Japanese pop culture conquered the world. And it just goes over how Japan became more and more of an influence in the West and over in Europe and over in like just everywhere, and how it's just grown into like this cultural phenomenon. So if you want to read something along those lines, that's definitely going to be available for pre-order as well. And now if you are if you are not of age, please close your ears for a little while and let the adults talk for a little bit. So we all know that anime can go into the adult realm. Here is one that I personally think is hilarious and great. And the title itself, Japan, why do you come up with these titles that just sound ridiculous and crazy, and I love them? So here's the title. Breasts are my favorite thing in the world, Volume 1.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
It is about a girl named Chiaki, the handsomest girl in the school, and to her, breasts are everything.
Oh my god.
Especially her friends.
Oh, I bet.
This Yuri anime brings a new meaning to bosom buddies.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
If you want down for that, just let us know. It's just
we're taking pre-orders for it.
We're taking pre-orders if you want it. I know you degenerates are out there.
Don't miss out on it.
We also have To Save the World. You can wake up the morning after with a demi-human, Volume 1.
What kind of title is that?
Dude, they've been coming out with like these titles that are just long in just like a sentence of like, hey, so there's like one that is about like your mom and how much DPS that she can do. There's one that it like that's literally the title is like do you love your mother and how much DPS she can does or something like that.
Wow.
And then there's also one that is How I Got My Girlfriend in a Dungeon. Like,
are these guys sitting around and they're drunk and they're like, hey, let's come up with the craziest title that whenever they interpret it over in America, it'll be all kinds of whacked, like, you know, my breasts are your friends or something.
Yeah,
like
dude. The thing is, that's gonna pop up next week and we're gonna laugh.
I know.
But I don't know if it's like just the translation thing where people just get tired and don't want to make like an interesting title, or they're just like, okay, let's just make this long title that makes no sense in other languages.
Oh man.
Okay, it's
all right, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's all good. I completely understand. Like I was on the same boat, but it's about this guy named Tabata is destined to have the next hero as his child, and because of everything, the demi-humans want him and want him bad.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that one's also a more adult themed. If you're into monster girls and different things like that, that's kind of like what the realm is. And talking about monster girls, they're coming out with a monster wrestling manga as well that just has a bunch of monster girls fighting and wrestling each other. There's going to be a volume 3 coming out, so that means that volume 2 and 1 are pretty much fixing to come out. So volume 1's probably fixing to hit shelves. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We'll definitely be having that on our order because we got a lot of Monster Girl fans that are up here in the shop. The last one.
Oh, wow. What a title.
Who Says Warriors Can't Be Babes also. Volume 1. Fantasy adventure comedy. It's mostly... It's going to be your typical fantasy adventure that just has comedy added in it. It seems like a Konosuba type comedy routine, and it just has like these hot chicks as like the warriors part of the class, and everyone's being like, oh no, you shouldn't go run in, and they end up being like these like badasses that go in and kick everyone's ass.
Okay,
so that looks really cool. So next, I know you're one of your favorite sections. Let's go over to toys.
Warlock titles, great for tabletop games.
Oh wait, yeah, that's me. Let me talk about. I forgot I put that in the very top.
What is it?
So Warlock titles, they're coming out for Dungeons and Dragons. I put it under toys because like that's the best thing that I could think of, but it's mostly for like Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons type things. They're coming out with terrain tiles that actually click into each other, and it actually has like doors and ladders and different things, and it all clicks into itself. That way,
for the miniatures?
Yeah, this is for the miniatures.
Okay.
So we're all having that, and it's going to have a bunch of different like stairs, ladders, dungeon tile sets. It's going to have an expansion set, dungeon dressing, and some summoning circles and different things like that. And then it'll also have like some replacement clips that you can buy. That way, just in case your clips break, you can get more clips.
Oh, that's neat.
So I'm really excited for that. I'm probably going to buy into that myself just for my own gaming and whatnot. I love Dungeons and Dragons, so I do that all the time, which has been fun in this whole shutdown era. But anyway, I think now it's over to you when you go.
Okay. We'll talk about this one more thing, and then we're going to take a break real quick. But they, what's it, Dynamite? No, Dynamic. No.
Dynamic.
Oh my God, Diamond Toys. Oh my God, I just went blank there for a second. Have been doing these busts. They're called legendary busts, but they've been doing like we have the one for the Hulk here, but they're doing one of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
which I think is going to be very cool. It's a 1 in 7 scale statue, and it runs about $150. I think I have it tagged.
Yeah, we can definitely show it off real quick.
Here. Oh, no, it's not a head. I'm thinking it was the head one. No, it's an actual Mandalorian statue.
Oh, it's the actual statue. Okay.
Yes, it's an actual statue.
Yeah, no,
So-
that looks really good, and I can't wait for that.
It'll probably be out this time next year because it's Dynamite. Or not Dynamite, Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, blame Diamond Select Toys. But anyway, if you're interested in this, we are taking pre-orders for it. So,
All right.
yeah, come on in and pre-order it. But
Yep. Other than that, we'll take another small break, and we'll see you guys in just a
When I
second.
was little, I used to watch the Adam West television series, Batman, the George Reeves Superman television series, The Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, and the Super Friends. I used to watch all that stuff when I was little.
Hello, we are back from break.
I'm Hans,
This is Franz.
and we're here to pump you up. Oh, we were so off. But
Oh, we
well.
were very off there.
Okay, so we're back from our break, and I wanted to talk about Godzilla. Because Godzilla's the greatest.
Godzilla.
Yes. So Diamond Select is doing a head bust, of which I thought there was the Mandalorian a while ago, but of Godzilla. It is a 1 in 7 scale.
Mm-hmm. It looks
I'm
really
trying to read
sweet.
it upside down. But it's based on Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1964.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've already ordered one for myself.
Didn't they have the costume of that actually at like Comic Palooza like last year?
Maybe
It might have
was
been the year
Anime
before,
Con,
or it might
'cause
have
they
been
had
Anime Matsuri.
Because they had the
I can't
first
remember.
Godzilla store in
That was
the
Anime
US.
Matsuri. Yeah, it was Anime Matsuri. They had the original costumes, and they looked sweet, and it looks just like it.
Mm-hmm. It does. The one thing I'm worried about though is they're going to do, because Godzilla's head's always different in his body. They're going to do more of these, and my wife's going to be super super happy,
super happy.
sarcastic,
Mhm.
sarcasm. Added there.
No, never.
All right.
So the other one that I wanted to talk about was Avatar: The Last Airbender is also going to be doing a statue. It's going to be of Aang, and it's him kind of a little bit older, as shown here. I think this takes more from the comic book. So this is him a little bit older, just him having all the air going around him with his staff that he has. So it looks really cool. That one's going about $49.99. So if you're interested, just let us know.
Mm-hmm. Pre-orders one.
We also have another one that you wanted to talk about, Eric.
We are Venom. It's a Venom bust.
It looks super sweet.
It was on the other night. Watched it for, I think this is the second time I ever had seen it, and it's surprisingly, as much as I wanted this movie to fail when it came out because I wanted Spider-Man back with Marvel, this movie is actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm still shocked.
and they're planning on doing Venom in the Marvel universe. They're gonna actually they were talking about possibly bringing like the same exact Venom into the Marvel cinematic, right?
I think that's the deal that Disney made with Sony. So I think that, like I said, I think that's the deal so Marvel can use him. But Spider-Man's going to be in both universes.
Okay.
So we'll see how that plays out.
And there was another Venom figurine, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna dig through it here.
Yeah, dig through it real quick. But there's another really cool one. It was relatively a good price.
It's a little 6-inch statue.
So maybe about yay big.
Yeah, and it's
Just
$29.99.
Yeah, $29.99, and looks pretty sweet. If you like the whole Venom aesthetic, I really like it. And so if you're a fan,
Yes.
very affordable, and we'll definitely be having that in the shop.
Most definitely.
Other than that, I'm going to move on to some anime figurines. We got, first off, we got the My Hero Academia Mina Ashido, also known as the Alien Girl. She is in her hero suit. It's a 1/8 scale, so it's about yay big. It's pretty big. And the other ones that they've done of this series have been just fantastic. Now this one's a little bit more expensive. This one's going about $205.
Oh, wow.
The reason that I bring up these more expensive ones is most of the time we don't bring these into the store unless people want them.
Right.
So you got to tell us, you got to order them from us, and that's why I like to bring these up in these videos. So that one's a really cool one. If you're interested in that, just let us know. As I've said in every single one of these items.
Pre-order.
That's why I preach it. Overlord, if you have not seen that anime, it's a fantastic one. But one of the favorite girls from there, we got an Albedo. 1/6 scale PVC figure that's going $280. It is about yay big, so it's pretty good. I really like it, and it looks fantastic. Once again, more on the expensive side, but if it's something that you're looking for, definitely let us know. We also have from Konosuba, we have Aqua in her bikini outfit. It's a 1/6 scale, and that one's $259.99. And I know a lot of you degenerates out there are going to be wanting to get that, so let me know. We can definitely get that in. ReZero, if you don't know that, one of the girls from there, Rim, they have a Halloween costume, and it's her in her witch outfit, and I'm all about that witch outfit.
You had me at Halloween, buddy.
Yes. Of course, you just whisper Halloween in your ear at night, and you're just
time
like,
of year.
Favorite movie. Exactly. And that one, if I didn't say, it's $194.99. I'm not sure if I said that. But
what about JoJo, Sterling?
Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's our adventure too. No, I really love JoJo. I'm currently watching through it. That's been keeping me in the house arrest and everything that's going on right now. That's been keeping me sane, so I've just been watching it with the whole like, oh my god, that's my favorite. Yeah, I always laugh anytime that he does that. But we have Diamond the Unbreakable and Rowan, Kisby, and Haven for $104.99. Most of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure figurines are going for that price. So if you know of any of those coming out that you want to get, let us know. I know that we didn't cover them because we just started up this series, but there's a lot of them coming out. Yes. And this is just the one that was solicited in the previews. So double check with us, let us know, and we can definitely let you know what's coming out.
A lot of that stuff, because we do order it, a lot of that stuff doesn't stick around. And I know we preach the pre-order thing, but if you see it in there, and chances are we're going to order it, but that doesn't mean that you're like, oh, you see it in our videos that we do on that Tuesday that it's going to be on the shelf Wednesday, or because somebody may show up that morning and pick it up. That stuff doesn't stick around very often. That's when it sells really well.
And anybody that you buy from, just make sure to like contact them, whatever store you're with. I mean, if you want to go with us, that's awesome, but if not, just contact your store. They will appreciate it.
Yes.
The other things, we got 4 more things left and then we are done. But we got Evangelion has a ton of figurines coming out. We'll probably be showing off a few of those images around if I bring those up and whatnot. But there's a ton of them. There's like 6 or 7. There's one of Asuka. There's one of, people are gonna hate me, but Asuka's my favorite. That's why I remember her name. But the other girl that ends up like destroying the world. And so yeah. And then we also have, from the Pop selection, we have Pokemon Series 2, Mewtwo, Pichu, Mr. Mime, and Vulpix. So we have those coming out. Also on the Pops, we have Boruto. We have Boruto himself, Mitsuko, and Sarada. And then we also have, from My Hero Academia, we have a ton of those. We have Deku. We have Toga with a face cover. We have Chisaki, which is Overhaul. And then we also have All Might, which is a 10-foot pop. So that one's, well, not 10 feet, but 10 inches. And then we also have the Genist.
Oh wow.
And so that one's a really cool one. We have Endeavor, Koragi, and then Mina Ashado, and then God, I am butchering these names.
Dude, you sound like you know it better than I would. I would be like,
Sigaraka, Sigaraki, or something like that. Saraki, I think is how you say it, now that I think about it. But Saraki. But those are all coming out, so let us know. Other than that, I guess that is it for this video. As always, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube and everything, subscribe to us, and any questions, just let us know. Other than that, I think that's it for the video.
It's hopefully, maybe we'll see it as far as these videos, maybe next month. Maybe they'll get it done, maybe a month after, but you will see us again. Yeah, it might get delayed a little bit, but other than that, I guess I will talk to you guys later with me and Eric. Bye. See you guys. Bye. Be safe. Be safe.